Hi everyone, this is Thugruck coming at you with a level 15 Stone Wars beginner tutorial today for tanking. Swaps you'll need, your regular skip set, and a black monk staff. Need your regular tanking set, of course. Make sure I have all the abilities. Alright, here we go. Alright, to start things off, I just use my soldier helmet to go past these guys. Use my shoes here and immediately use my E. So everything's nicely clumped. Give them a Q and just snare them. No need to build up to 4 auto attacks. They'll die before the snare is over. Most times anyway. Alright, down here I'm making sure I aggro the trash thrower mob first. If you walk into the spinner guy, you'll actually pull the mob on the other side of the room. So after that trash mob dies, you come over here and pull the other mob. Once he's about to spin, stun him. Build up to 4 auto attacks, snare, and then he's snared and stuck there for the entire duration of his spin. Alright, I haven't done this room slowly in ages, so I have no idea how this will go. Gonna pull this guy, pull this one, roll past him, use your helmet here, and then use E. Four auto attacks, snare, walk away. Just make sure I still have aggro, so I went into Q. After his spin, he usually does an ability, so you can walk past him and sneak in an auto attack or a Q before he'll start auto attacking you. For this, just gonna wait for the patrol there. Pull those down into this mob here. Stun them all together. Build up to 4 auto attacks. Snare, Q, and walk away. With spinners, generally you never want to stand on your DPS when they're not snared. Just because things can get hectic really quickly. They're about to die, so I'm not going to waste my E cooldown on them. For this, you poison the spinner, walk away, and you roll past him, and then E them when they're all standing together. 4 auto attacks, snare, walk away. There's going to be that melee mob up there will patrol all the way down to us. So you can actually grab him right here without pulling the thrower. 9 times out of 10, it won't be a perfect rotation like that. So normally you just need to turn that into multiple pulls. So like I kind of turned it into 1 chain pull, but most of the time it'll just be 2 pulls. Alright, then just stun this mob with your E. Make sure you face her away from your DPS. This mob's ability will one-shot people who are in cloth. So build up to 4 auto attacks, snare her, walk away. Make sure you're not standing on top of the DPS. Then for these mobs here, just go in with your E. They're trash mobs, they'll die quickly, so just like at the beginning, E, Q, snare, and walk away. You don't need 4 auto attacks. Alright, then this mob you just do by yourself. You E her, Q. This one I do not snare and walk away. Enfeeble her after her first ability. The reason why you don't walk away is because you're so close to the DPS. If one thing goes wrong, you'll kill the entire DPS team. So, in my opinion, it's better to just not risk it. Here, we're waiting for this patrol up north. Gonna poison, roll, and stun them all together. Face her away from the DPS. 4 auto attacks and snare. Now, I accidentally interrupted her ability just now, so that means that I basically reset her auto attack timer. So she did 2 auto attacks back to back really quickly. I took extra damage. In general, interrupting abilities of mobs is really bad. So here, you just go in with E again. This one you can build up to 4 auto attacks, snare, and walk away. That's a snare bug. Watching that debuff bar again. He'll do an ability, so I don't need to waste any of my abilities. He'll be dead by the time his ability's done. Then for this, I Q these guys and roll past them. Then I use my helmet to walk past these guys. And I stun everything on top of this fat troll here. 4 auto attacks and then I snare. And then you can walk away. Just watch out for his AoEs. This guy takes a really long time to kill, so use poisons off of cooldown for this boss, for this mob. He feels like a boss. He takes that long to kill. So he has 4 abilities. He has a stone throw that has random targets. That he'll do that, which it's a knockback, and AoE that AoE that follows you, and you can't. There's no way to walk out of range of that or dodge it or anything. You just need to use your iframe to make yourself invulnerable when it hits. And then the AoE that's centered around him is a stun. So you poison that mob that's in the corner here to pull everything. You pull them down the stairs to group them, and then you stun them all together. Build up to 4 auto attacks, snare, and then you walk away. Make sure, again, you're pointing them away from the DPS. Again, it's very easy to kill your entire team, so just be careful not to do that. He's going to do his ability once he's not snared anymore, so you don't need to go in with an E. For this mob, there's not really a good way to take care of this mob. Just kill her by herself. Then down here, you can hug this wall here to poison them, roll back, and then you E them all together. build up to 4 auto attacks, face them away from the DPS, and walk away. You can use an iframe to dodge that last auto attack, because 2 auto attacks from, or 1 auto attack from 2 of those throwers deals a lot of damage. I think it's more than half of your health on level 15. Alright, then after they're dead, just kill this mob by yourself. While you're skipping, you can start putting on equipment that you're going to use. Just don't remove whatever's giving you invisibility, because it'll take you out of it. For this next pull, you just walk up to them, soldier helmet the first auto attack, Q them, walk away, and then E back in. That way you take 0 damage. The melee guy got grouped with them because when you queued them, you aggroed him. And you use your E to iframe. Just gonna pull those 2 mobs there. When the mage is standing up here, you can still do this pull. Just make sure you walk towards the melee mob on the left instead of the one in the middle. Alright, and this is really bad timing with the patrol, so I'm just gonna group them together here. Once they're grouped together, you can stun them. Four auto attacks, snare, walk away. Use an iframe on the way out. Those auto attacks from mages hurt. And at this point, we're 1 mob short. There are 6 mobs in the boss room, so the chests actually count for 1 mob count. So if you tell your DPS to sneak the chest, you've got mob count. And then you skip to boss room. Alright, for this pull, you just pull whatever side the mage is about to go to. Use your soldier helmet to group them all together. Stun them. 4 auto attacks. Snare. Q off of cooldown. Walk away. Need a royal jacket. Alright, then just stun this mage with your E. 4 auto attacks. Snare. Walk away. Alright, for this boss, you need your toughness passives and taunt. On BMS, you need the 4th W and the 2nd Q, and energetic passive. So to start the boss, I start with a poison because you need to be able to hold aggro, and BMS with this Q doesn't have much for threat generation. So start with a poison and throw down your E. Taunt anytime he does that hop to the DPS. I-frame the auto attacks as you need to. And I'm using this Q because I taunted. I don't know why. I'm using this Q to interrupt his abilities. That way the healer needs to cancel fewer beams, and as long as he trusts you, it should make tanking this all the way up to level 18 really easy. Of course, you miss one ability and they don't trust you anymore. So, So sometimes I'm using my W to interrupt, sometimes I'm using my Q. Basically, anytime BMS isn't, the debuff from my E isn't on the boss, I use the W when I can, because after I interrupt him, there will be no debuffs on him to reduce his damage. So by putting the Q debuff on him, it's just something to reduce his damage. Alright, now he's going to start spinning. So if you put BMS on him, he'll actually stay in place once he's at 4 stacks. Make sure you taunt him as soon as he jumps during this phase. He's going to spin again. If you're stuck in a corner, just use your helmet or roll past him with your shoes. And that's Stone Wars 15. Alright, it's a pretty easy map overall, but there's a few tricky things about it, specifically with the throwing ladies, and they can kill you pretty quickly. So hope the video helps, and go out there and tank some maps, guys.